7:33.
Yep, 7:33, please.
Yeah.
Of course, we've had a little bit of history with this already, but open sessions, this is an open session, and public meetings are subject to being recorded. Your image and voice will both be recorded.
Okay.
All right, well, we first here have the council roles up for discussion.
Well, I'd like to nominate Chris to remain as chair.
Second?
All in favor then?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Then we have a clerk, which
I can stay as clerk if,
then I will nominate MJ. All in favor? Or
I'll second.
You
thank
need-
you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's okay.
All in favor then?
We're a team. Aye.
Yeah.
okay. So, yeah.
And then, for now, you said.
Yeah, so with treasurer, so ideally you or Mickey, but I'm not sure which
Yeah,
one of
So,
you.
can you explain a little bit more about the treasurer role?
Absolutely. It's basically keeping track of the money. When things are rolling correctly, they've got everything kind of back in order now.
You mean the Mass Cultural Council, or,
The town.
The town accountant.
Okay.
She will, I don't think I brought it with me. I have another folder. The accountant will have you justify the funds periodically.
Mhm.
And just, she'll give you something that looks like this. And then you just go through it and make sure it fits with what you have down
Okay.
in the book. I can show you how I've organized it,
Mhm.
and then do as you wish. But the former treasurer was extremely organized, and it was really helpful to me taking
Sure.
on the role
I
to
bet.
see how it happened. So I can, I'd be really happy to show you that. And then what happens is as the grants come in, once we've, sent the letters out and everything, and we do reimbursements,
Right.
the state allows for to pay ahead,
Okay.
but there's some questions about that as to whether it's okay to do or not. I don't think June would buy the
Yeah.
payout before someone.
June is the accountant?
Yes, sorry, the accountant is
That's
June.
okay.
June
The-
Holland.
The town tends to be fiscal with financial
Careful.
policies, so I think we've just kind of understood that there would be no appetite within town government as a whole for doing, the grants that way.
Yeah, to pay them out ahead.
Okay.
So then there's just paperwork, there's a cover page that you fill out. We have two accounts, we have the
Right.
Berlin account and the
Yeah.
MCC account. So you fill it out accordingly, and then they have submitted this paperwork that we just signed off on, and they have to provide the support material, what they did, how they did it,
Got it.
and the amount.
Okay.
And then that goes to June, and then you're done with it. You just keep
Okay.
track. I have a book that I keep track of everything we granted out,
Mhm.
and in order
Yep.
of when it's happening,
Yeah.
and when I submitted it, and when I know
Okay.
it got paid. So it's just, it's pretty
Yeah.
simple once you
Yep.
have a system.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm willing to do that.
Well, don't feel you need to commit and like,
Well,
if you want to see,
I think we
too,
have
if
to-
Mickey wants to do it. Don't feel you should be punished by being the one who showed up.
No, but I feel like I have the opportunity to learn from Deborah. We probably could, meet together another time. You could walk me through everything in
Absolutely.
detail. I could
Yeah.
take copious notes, and I think that would be fine. I'm okay with it.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna nominate Valerie to be our treasurer, and I will assist in the interim as we transition.
I will second that motion.
In that case, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And some years I think to mention vice clerk, some years I don't. We could have one, we don't need to have one.
Well, I mean, Mickey's not really here, and they're kind of like iffy, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure, we don't know enough to know how dependable she will be. Obviously Sandra, even if she hadn't mentioned potentially resigning, we wouldn't put anything to that. I have looked up in past that if your clerk and vice clerk, chair and vice chair are absent, or you don't have one, that a clerk can start the meeting and call for a temporary chair. So there is a mechanism if we don't
Okay.
have the chair around without having a vice chair, but.
Okay, that's good to know.
For now, as long as I'm hanging
as long
around.
as one of you two are here, that's
I
Yeah.
believe I'm gonna make it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then, yeah, we don't.
Yeah, in that case.
I
can
just,
leave her off.
I figured I would put it out there, because
I
there have
appreciate
been
that.
times where I haven't put it out, and then I'm like later, it's like maybe I should have, you
Mhm.
know, put that out there.
Yeah. In that case, then, I move that we move on to the minutes then, in that case.
Sorry I was so late in producing those. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at
Sure,
that.
yeah.
I think I was too busy talking at the time. Sometimes I'd make better notes during the meeting. I was thankful when I went to the YouTube, it auto-generated captions. The
Yeah.
captions are very bad, but
Yeah.
it was enough that I didn't actually have to, like,
Uh,
watch the meeting to
It was,
like I had the agenda, it's like, okay, what did we actually discuss? It was kind of funny though, what things it would get and not get, but.
In that case, was there any questions about it at all?
no. I move we accept them as written. Second?
All right. All in favor then?
Aye.
All right. So, treasurer's report, I believe that you had something to say about that?
Yeah, I have a few things to say. So, I usually, on this treasurer's report, try to zero everything out so you can see where we are with all the funds.
Mm-hmm.
So our BCC funds are all accounted for. Those all have to be done when we figure out how we're gonna pay out. We pay out, as best we can, the $1,500,
Okay.
before June 30th, before the end of the
Okay.
fiscal year. So, our, link amount was 600, it was actually 800 and something, but you're also able to draw from both accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So I drew 600 from the BCC funds for the link payment in, I think I did it in June, early June. The No Irish Need Apply, which happened in March, and the St. Patty's Day program, which happened in March as well. So that took care of our $1,500. Our MCC funds granted this year was $5,700. We don't have all the interest posted yet. She's working, June is working on all the money that came in. She was pretty good about the money that went out.
Yeah.
And she's trying to justify all that, so 42 cents for the July and August of '24 posted. So the interest from July 1st to June 30th is, wait a minute, no, I didn't, I put it down here somewhere, never mind, it'll come back. We hold all the interest separately, so we just dump that into, we keep that in the account. We have $202.42 plus that other 42 cents right now in that account. And then we have $210.26 that we use if we need for administrative funds. We really very rarely draw from it just to get
Mhm.
stamps.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're allowed, I think it's 5% of our
Yeah.
allotment to do that. So that shows in our account
Okay.
as $6,113.10. So the grants that have been paid out are listed: sound immersion, Zombie Survival, Harvey Leonard, Link, and Social Singing. So when I subtract those, we then go to 3,883.10. The encumbered ones that have not been paid yet are listed. That takes us down to $413.10, which is, if you add our, the funds that we hold, that's $413.10, so that zeroes out.
Yeah, one of those events, the One Up Games Day is, or was today.
Yeah, I have been after Virginia Thurston, the one that we just signed off on. I finally got stuff from them. The person who submitted the grant no longer worked there, and I wasn't
Yeah.
getting responses, so I finally got that, and I was glad we got that paid off. Ted Goodwin was listed as being July 9th, and I called the library today and left a message because I haven't gotten his paperwork yet. We'll get that One Up game, I'm sure. And the other one I haven't heard from that I'm gonna email, I realized today when I went through this, is Neshoba, the band. So those should all be happening real quick, and music from the Old Methodist Church music, we should be hearing that one soon too.
Yeah, they just had their last, thing.
Yeah, and Evie's
this
really
past
good at getting
weekend.
that in. So, in my notes, I wrote about there's no interest posted on our MCC account from September of '24 to July '25. We have our funds available, $1,500 from the line item in the warrant. And we got $5,700 again for granting from the state, so the total funding available next cycle is $7,200. The only other thing that we'll have to sit down to do too, Valerie,
Yep.
is this particular form gets filled out by June, and then she sends it to me and I justify it. This is something they do every year just to justify funds and everything, and that's due in the report online on October 9th.
Got it.
So we got plenty of time to do that. She
Okay.
hasn't gotten the form yet.
So question about, on the notes, the BCC funds for FY '26, should that be July 1, 25 to June 30th, 26?
No.
Parentheses, no?
No, it was until this June.
Oh, okay, okay, so it was July 24,
Wait a minute, no,
No,
I'm
I'm
confused. Okay, so
it's in the notes.
the interest, yeah, so there hasn't been no interest, the last interest that was posted
Okay.
was the July 24 and August 24. So starting September of 24, we have seen on this paper that she gave me, no interest
Yeah.
all the way up until last month,
Yeah.
so the August hasn't posted yet.
Okay, so the next line below,
Yeah,
where you see BCC funds FY '26,
yeah.
are we talking about interest there, are we talking about,
Oh, no, it's the funds.
okay,
So it should be June 30th, 2026.
Yeah,
I
that
see
was
what
my
you're saying.
question.
Okay, yeah.
okay, great,
Yeah.
thank you.
My bad.
I always get confused with fiscal.
No, I'm glad you did.
Times.
I'm glad you told me that, so we fixed it. Do you guys see that
Yeah.
mistake that I made in the date? It's the second line, the BCC funds that are available.
Okay.
It should be June 30th, 2026.
Yeah,
Okay. The MCC funding is calendar year,
Of
and
course.
the Berlin is fiscal year. So you're always going back and forth between the
Yeah.
25s and the 26s, or whatever
Yeah.
years they are, right? Okay, so I think that is all I have to say. Anybody else have any questions about?
Actually, I do real quick. I know how we normally split the grants a little bit to make sure the ones before the grant cycle for the Berlin one is over, or the Massachusetts one is over, so that way we can get those money out real
Mhm.
quick, and then we can use the rest of it for whatever. How is the 7,200 divided?
So 1,500 of it is what we get from the town, that's what we've been getting every year for a number of years,
It's in
Okay.
the budget, it's in the
Right.
town budget,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah. And when we do this accounting for MCC, we put that in, that we're getting money from the town,
Mhm.
so they know that
Mhm.
as well.
I thought that's how it was.
Hmm?
I thought that's how it was. I just wanna.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I wanna
that,
make
that,
Always good to make sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that has been a line item that has existed in the town budget for many, many years with generally no further question about it until this past year when,
I was about to say until
yeah,
these. Yeah, that was a little weird.
yeah. Well, I think when we get to that point next year, I think I'll probably reach out, or someone can reach out to the select board and see whether they have any questions ahead of time.
I can do it this time.
It was funny too, cause one of the meetings I'm attending by Zoom, and I think they wanted me to talk, but like at first didn't catch that they were trying to get my attention, because I'm like, if you wanted me to talk, you should have like invited me to the meeting, so like I didn't expect to be kind of
Yeah.
called out of the audience.
That
I
was a
realized
little weird.
afterwards, I was like, oh, it was me that you were expecting to say something, but.
Okay, so you guys wanna,
You.
can I move that we
I don't see a
accept
real
the-
reason not to.
Yeah.
with the
Yes.
correction,
Second.
okay, that we accept the treasurer's report with the correction to
Yeah.
the date on that line.
In that case, with that second, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, so we would then move on to the grant guidelines. And it has written here, thank you MJ, that we have until Thursday, the 22nd of August to submit our information.
Did I write 22nd?
Yeah.
No,
28th.
28th.
Pardon me, tomorrow's the 22nd.
Yeah.
The 28th of August to submit our information in the Massachusetts Cultural Council Simple System ahead of the grant cycle.
Yeah, and that was I copy pasted that into the email I sent Monday. I didn't bother printing that out more, cause I figured I'm already killing enough.
I can't blame
Trees.
you.
But yeah, so I don't know if there's anything we wanna change this year,
I believe they're pretty sound.
yeah. Yeah, I think one of the past years we retooled things like a tiny bit, but I don't,
Yeah, they haven't really changed much.
usually it's mostly just, the date each year, though I think this year it is also gonna be the 16th of October that it closes. I was looking that up earlier,
Okay.
but, well, now I've opened too many files.
Yeah, I attended that training last night, so I think I did write down there. Yeah, the apps are due on the 16th of October.
Okay. Yeah, I think the only thing we changed, or was it on the Berlin website, because we ended up getting the mailed in
Yeah.
application, did
Ye-
that ever get changed?
Yeah, so that, I think was probably around January or something like that, I finally was able to touch base with the person there and get everything I believe, as far as I understand it, that grant may still be ongoing, they may still have that person around, so at this point, I think the only thing we need on our page is just to update who the members are. And
Yeah, but it said you did have to actually go in and cut and paste the same stuff right
Yeah.
back in, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
like, what I put in the email was cut from last year's. So, yeah, so whether we make changes to it or not, this weekend I will paste it in.
Okay,
Alright.
perfect.
But yeah, I mean,
Looks fine to me. Yeah.
and I don't think anything out of what we got for the, response to our questionnaires would cause us to make any different priorities.
No, mainly just looking at the suggestions that the people made, if we see any of these
Right, come up.
things come
Mhm.
up, we might wanna take a little longer look at some of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna move that we accept them
Okay,
how they currently are.
okay, minus that, I will make 2024, 2025. I will second the motion.
Alright, perfect. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Alright, wonderful. Oh yeah, this was actually, I saw this a bit ago, a day or two ago, where you mentioned this, the Powder House News article, so, looks like, Dee at the town administrator's office invited MJ and us
Yeah, so.
to, submit something for the
Yeah,
news.
so when, the other day I'm going into the Smart Simple system, cause I'm seeing whether I need to, set up Valerie and Mickey, and I see that, Greg has already done this, and then I'm looking at when the terms expire, and my mind immediately, I see what it says for Deborah's, and it says her term doesn't expire for 2 years, and I'm like, what's going on? So,
Yeah.
I email him and be like, okay, did we change lengths of terms or something? And what had happened was, so for every year for I don't know how many years, in spite of the fact that at the state level these are 3-year terms, the town has just been appointing it for 1 year. So this year they got their act together and did it for 3-year terms. And it's like correct for you and Mickey, but for those existing members, it doesn't actually match up to when your terms actually are. So and that was cause the information that Dee had given to Greg was that, so I went down to talk to her about, so that's gonna get straightened out, but in the course of that conversation, I indicated, of course, you're going, or in theory, supposed to be gone at the end of next month, cause you're 6 years, and then I'm only here because of the safe harbor provision, so, that started another conversation in terms of, how we get out the word that we need new members, and, since, Lori Fairbrae is no longer doing the work-off senior tax programs, then Dee is the one holding the bag for doing the Powder House News, so that is going to go from once a month to every other month, because Dee keeps accumulating, more responsibilities, but she invited us to put in something, so I took the liberty of writing a short thing that I can pass around that basically just is trying to be who we are and that we need people. I'm not married to it if people have other ideas, but I think that, I don't know when Dee would need it by, but we probably wouldn't be meeting again before she did, so I figured if we were starting from scratch and then be like, okay, do we have to meet to decide, so I figured I would start with something and, we could go from there.
While Deb is reading that, you mentioned getting us in the GMS system, how do I
The-
access that?
So when we're done with the meeting, I
You'll
will
me?
show you
Great,
that.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully you're already set up with an account, so I
Cool.
imagine I'll ask you for a password, whatever, but we can do a little,
You don't mind if I have a brownie, do you?
that's what yeah, if you want a brownie,
I'm all good, thank you though, just ate before I came.
this is why I bring them, Chris.
I know, I just,
Okay,
always
there's just a
the,
little type,
Oh.
I'll just underline it.
Yeah,
do you want, I could throw it through some of my friends, they always correct me.
It's just a different set of eyes, it's amazing, you can read
Yeah,
something
exactly.
5 times and not see it, and then somebody else, it jumps right out.
well, it's fine too, so the other day I had to send something to the select board that deals with the parking issue that affects the general store, so I wrote up this couple page thing, and then Ed looked at it before I mailed it off to their office, and So, I had looked at it and proofread it, Ed had looked at it and proofread it. Then I copy and paste it into Gmail, and suddenly it's telling me more things that need to be
Mhm.
changed. It's like, okay, I was in good shape, but,
Um, I like what you've written. I just wanna add that, should we say something about the categories that we must, when you're talking about the grants and the programs, should we say something about, it has to be art, science, humanities, we have to choose grants from within those categories?
yeah, we could do that. I was kind of gearing it more towards what, I wasn't trying to go too far into details with the grant program, but it would certainly make sense to do
Yeah, it just
that.
didn't make, to me, it was a little bit incomplete
Yeah,
in reading the
Mhm.
part about the money, but, or, the grants, and this is what we have money for, but
yeah,
not explaining that it
Yeah.
had to fall into certain categories.
yeah, no, I could,
Yeah, I mean, I think
It
just like a
complete-
sentence about that would be terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. Thank you so
No.
much for
I'm not going against that.
taking the
don't get me
initiative
wrong.
on that.
I haven't even read it yet, but if we don't include that, or maybe allude to it instead, we could have more incentive for people who are interested in it to come actually attend a meeting, to learn potentially what might be in it, but I mean, I'm just throwing an idea
Yeah, I don't
against the
think
wall.
it has to be too wordy.
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
a
when
very
you
brief
read it,
sentence.
I think maybe it'll make sense what I've said, Chris.
Yeah.
Not being pushy about it.
Yeah.
No, feel free,
I'm just
really.
saying.
Well, I think it's an opportunity not only to talk about
yeah,
that we need members, but also to
yeah,
advertise
Yeah.
that this money's available,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah, no, I mean,
in a funny
with-
kind of way, it could be twofold.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's funny, earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, I was thinking to myself that, like, some years I think about, hey, okay, we need to put in the agenda that we need to advertise the grant cycle, and then clearly this year I didn't think about that, but,
Well, we used to
But-
always put it in the Clinton
item,
item,
yeah,
and, I mean, people just don't really read
Yeah.
newspapers anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
But
Well,
it
I
could
think the
go-
past couple of years, we've mostly just put it up on Facebook, and,
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we
Mhm.
put it on Facebook.
Yeah, social
Yeah.
media is the way to go, I think.
yeah, so, yeah.
Or does the town webpage have anywhere to?
Yeah, we could have them put that up.
Got the grants, yeah, 'cause there's that little box in the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I
grant
doubt
cycle
it's gonna make a
opens.
huge difference, but
Yeah, well, I
at least
mean,
we can make the effort.
when I emailed Dee with whatever complete version of this, that will be a good time to get them to advertise that we need people again, and to have the grant stuff get up there, so I can, kind of do an omnibus email of,
Okay.
here's what we need to advertise.
Where do you suggest the explanation of the grants?
I think his meaning kind of between the second and third paragraph there, 'cause or,
Or even in the money part where it says, we have this much money available to,
yeah,
consider grants
Yeah, so
in
probab-
arts, humanities,
okay,
that
yeah,
way.
so
Yeah.
probably
If
between
it's-
the,
If it's a little, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
say what we're giving grant money, that we're,
yeah, no, that makes sense, that,
I hate the word give back, I hate when I use that word, award, that we award grant money for these programs, but, they do fall within a specific guideline, and it's just, 4 or 5 words that you
yeah, so it's like between the second to last sentence in the paragraph and the last one, yeah. Yeah, I was, as some of you are aware, I have a tendency to be verbose, so I was doing my best to,
But we have to ignore this.
so I was doing my best in writing this to,
I think it was really well done.
It was a great combination of
Taking responsibility for that.
casual and expert vocabulary.
Alright, well, in that case, with small changes to typo and I cut,
Half a sentence So now we would move on to recruitment.
Okay, so that's kind of within that as well. Who seconded the last one? You-
Valerie?
Valerie, okay.
Yes, sorry. Should probably the same person second every time.
That's what happens
It
in
works.
smaller groups, it becomes
Yeah, makes it easier.
On the topic of recruitment, other than the article that could potentially bring in new people,
Yeah, so I guess,
I don't know how much else we have
End up
done.
friends and
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we've been doing that for years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Trying to find people.
Obviously, I have Max. If we really need that fifth member, I can have Max do the oath and then come when he's available, and otherwise, he'll just be a member. But
well, I mean, hopefully we could, I was hoping perhaps maybe now that we have new members, that might also lead to you having ideas of, new people too.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I guess
we've kept putting it
Sorry.
on Facebook, I think pretty much.
My
Every
question
year.
about advertising, right? So one of the things I was wondering, cause I went to that training last night, one of my questions was like, is it useful to make a flyer and stick it like at 19 Carter and at the general store? I mean, will that get us any potentially more? I have no idea.
I did do that.
Did you?
Put one up at 19 Carter and I put one somewhere else. The library, a couple places. And I did speak to some people at 19 Carter, and I was really hoping that
Yeah.
they seemed interested, but
Nothing.
nobody followed up. But,
Okay.
I mean, we can still I don't see any problem with
Yeah.
still doing that because
Yeah,
different people are there all the time.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you might get lucky and hit one person.
yeah.
Does the library have a newsletter?
I don't think
Because-
they have a newsletter.
Yeah.
I mean, they have,
Just they have a calendar that
Yeah.
they put out, because
Yeah,
that would be a
it's-
good way to let
Yeah.
people, since we support so many library
Yeah.
programs, if there was a way
Mhm.
for them
yeah.
to put it out on what they do.
Well, I mean, also, I suppose if we were to produce something for, putting on Berlin Neighbors Connect, we could also maybe ask the
Yeah.
library to, share it on their page as well. Cause I'm not sure what, other than, on Facebook, they've got, I don't think it really fit on their I'm just trying to think of
Right.
what format it would make sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I
it
was
seemed like
wondering.
about the best we could ask of them, just whether they could, reshare, that just
Yeah.
in case there's anyone who's following their page but not Berlin Neighbors Connect, or follows them both and will, different people see things from, depending on whatever,
Oh, they do have a
algorithms.
newsletter.
Oh,
I just went to their webpage.
The
Let me see.
library?
Yeah, it's a little slow because I'm on yeah, they have a newsletter. It's pretty much just like upcoming events, it looks like,
yeah.
but,
Well, I
We
could
could
talk
always-
to Victoria about whether we could get,
yeah.
A little blurb in there.
Yeah.
That would be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
seeing as most of the events are funded by us anyway, right?
well, I
A lot
would,
of them, yeah.
they get a good amount of money too from the Friends of the
Friends of the
Library.
library.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure kind of what sort of percentage and I mean, they have events that we aren't even involved in
Yeah.
funding, but we do certainly contribute a
Yeah.
good amount, and
Yeah, no, that's good. We're
Yeah.
at the library a lot, so,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Well-
Though their hours are less convenient to me at the moment.
Yeah, they kind of changed them up.
I had I have Wednesdays and Fridays off, so Wednesday afternoon would be the day I would, go to, get a lot of DVDs through Interlibrary Loan, and when they changed their hours, Wednesday became morning only, it's like,
And you're not up.
yeah. I was like, okay, if I get a DVD, I need to, go to before work.
So if they have, if we have, do you have a copy of that flyer that I could update, or should I just?
I don't know. I'd have to look if it's on my computer.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
mean,
it was just a little blurb about, you know, we need your help. I'll look on
Yeah.
my,
unless, you know, maybe, I'm trying to think, cause I'm thinking about it as in two parts. You know, again, needing members and also wanting to alert people to the grants, even though I
Yeah.
think the usual crew is gonna apply, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, generally.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
yeah,
you
po-
could just do
so,
both.
so something that says both, yeah, that,
That, yeah, and then if we can do the flyer, and I think I put one up at, the general store too. Does he still have that
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we're,
board there?
yeah, I don't mind making the flyer. Could I get a copy of your blurb for the Powder House, and I might be able to lift a couple lines from
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
And then,
yeah, I'll
have a-
email that,
I have a Canva account through work, so I can use that to create a flyer. So it's
Okay.
easier. Okay,
Makes it
so
easier.
I'll bring it to the general store,
yeah.
to
Library to
Library.
19 Carter.
19 Carter. And is there places down here in this lobby?
There is a board
Yeah.
as you're
Okay.
going out on the left.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
posted.
So it says it's for official town business or something, so I would probably
I'll
want
ask.
some clarification whether they considered,
It's official.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll ask. That's okay, it's no big deal.
I may also work in Bolton, but like, we're not even, the store's not even like 10 minutes away from Berlin.
do you have a board or something there?
Yeah, it's funny, cause, we only have one restroom, so everybody sits there in a big old line,
Ah.
and they stare at the ice machine, which has all the flyers, so,
Okay.
all I'm saying, it might
Yeah.
not be a good idea.
Well, I mean, at the general store, we got things for like, we've got something up for the Sterling Fair, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
things tend to be regional, and, I mean, we
Sure.
do, we try to support programs more that are in Berlin, but we do support some things like the Neshoba
Right.
Symphonic Band, which actually I went to one of those
Well,
things this,
I'll create a flyer and forward it to you all.
Okay.
And make sure it looks okay, and then I'll print it, and, you know, I can get copies to folks if
Okay.
you also have other places you wanna put it up.
Sounds like a plan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
No problem.
in case I'm gonna move that we, move on to the meeting times.
Yeah.
So-
So with the grant cycle ending October 16th, so we usually try to meet once in November to do the meeting where we decide which ones we will support, and then we usually have a second one in December, cause in theory, should anyone be denied, and then they ask for reconsideration, we can't just, given out all the money,
Right,
so that's why we break it up into two, so,
Yeah, 'cause they have a 2-week appeal.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we usually have that second meeting 2 weeks later, and then the letters go out.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I mean, we usually give it more than 2 weeks too, I think we usually have kind of about a month in between those meetings, I think we'd normally meet like mid-November before Thanksgiving, and then like early to mid-December, I think is generally what it's worked out to. So, I think, I mean, we've tended to, a lot of committees just figure out their schedule for the year, we've kind of
Yeah.
just done it more of, okay, when are we good for the next
Yeah,
meeting,
when are
which,
people
Okay.
I
available?
think especially with Mickey not being here, it's
Sure.
probably better to just plan
Yeah,
the next one and take it from there.
okay.
I agree.
So are you thinking like the second full week of November?
I mean,
That,
sometimes we do the
that-
beginning.
Or first week? I mean, I don't
Well,
care.
Sometimes we do the beginning of the week of the month.
Beginning of November?
I mean, it could be,
That works for me. So that would be, if we're keeping it on a Thursday, November 6th?
I mean, I'm good with whatever day.
And I'm in limbo, so I don't
Yeah.
know how to say in
Well,
this.
so-
Well, well, I mean,
It's not really
ideally,
good,
we'll find people and
People
we,
with
we
that, yeah.
can
No, I
both
know
stop
you
being
are.
voting members, but.
Okay,
We're flying out.
so we're looking at November 6th as a possibility?
Works for me, there's no outwardly holidays there.
No,
So-
it's the, whatchamacallits, the next week on Tuesday.
Yeah, Veterans Day. But, no,
Yeah, so
six-
that's actually, yeah, that probably makes more sense than to have it be the first, or the first Thursday, having it be the, what was it, the sixth?
Yes.
Probably makes more sense than the
The week
13th
after.
would, so.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're looking at the sixth then? Does that look good?
yeah, looks good to me.
I think I'm away, but
Okay.
you're not gonna worry about me at this point.
We'll
okay.
always worry about you.
Just, I'm pretty sure because Veterans Day is in my head that we're flying back Veterans Day, and I think we're flying out that Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, we
So do you
could
want
in theory do the 20th also.
Yeah.
Or we could
When at the 13th?
you could back it into October.
Yeah.
Well, my only concern, I mean, now that it's all in the simple system, I assume we would get it quickly, but I
Yeah,
was
'cause
just
if-
want to leave a little gap for,
If it closes the 16th, that's a Thursday? It closes on the 16th on a Thursday, really?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So then 2 weeks later is the 30th.
Okay.
They'd have to have them in the system for us in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
maybe,
then,
yeah, aim for the 30th of October?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
that
when we
works
do
for me.
that. Okay, at 7:30?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that is the most ideal time for me.
That's fine.
yeah, as long as I take a nap, I'm good.
Those are vital things.
And that's just to discuss the grants
Yeah,
Right,
and make a decision on what's
yeah.
gonna go.
how many do we usually get applications?
20-something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
22,
Not
23.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them are very, like,
Pretty.
obviously we're gonna deny.
Yeah, fair.
Because they're,
Yeah,
in Northbridge.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so I was looking, I think that this past year we approved like 14 of,
I can tell you exactly, I have them right here.
well, I was
It's
looking at it
okay.
too, cause when I was writing the thing for the Powder House, it's like, okay, what specific things did we do this year that sounded cool to mention?
Yeah.
You were right, 14.
Yeah, the zombie one was a great
Okay.
choice.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
just
I
see-
was trying to think of what sounds sexiest, basically. I mean, 19 cars is just like, it's so many events,
Yeah,
that
but
seemed like a good lead
The
up, but like,
diversity of,
but like,
what's
the
offered.
zombies and how, like, There were-
so the, once the MCC, sorry, I'm thinking of a union, the MCC, they review them just to make sure
I'm not even
basics
sure,
are there before
they-
they release it to us, or?
I'm not sure if there's any review actually.
Okay.
Yeah, are you saying like, do they look at them to see if they follow our guidelines?
Mhm.
No.
No.
But
We
there's
have to
somehow
look at
that they don't release the applications to us immediately.
They compile them and then they
Okay,
send them out through,
Yeah,
the GMS or whatever.
yeah,
Okay.
smart, simple, yeah.
So theoretically, we might be able to start taking a look at some of them before the actual meeting?
Oh, yes,
Okay,
in
That
theory,
was-
you
oh,
can,
yeah,
you
yeah.
you
that
can,
was my question,
Yeah.
okay.
and as they get as people start putting them together, you actually in the system can look at it, like,
Oh,
during
okay.
the process, so.
Okay, got it, alright.
They tend to, a lot of them tend to be later, so like, if you look at, September 15th, or like, October 1st, it'll be like, oh, wait, no one's applying, and then, you get to like October 15th, and then it's
Right,
like,
yeah,
20 of them in
Okay.
there.
but,
okay, cool. So we've scheduled the first meeting October 30th, and
Yeah.
then, did we wanna schedule the next meeting? Or did you wanna wait?
Probably
I
wait
think we
till-
probably wanna
Wait,
wait.
Yeah,
And,
we'll
I
wait
should-
wait for Mickey, definitely.
And
Got it.
in theory too, if in the course of us trying to recruit people, we get interested parties, and
Mm-hmm,
so we always, the select board before appointing people wants to make sure that the board in question is okay with who's being appointed. So,
Yeah.
in theory, if we were to get interested parties, would folks be potentially available for like a very quick meeting, just some other random week to just be like, okay, let's meet them, you know?
Sure.
Cause I'm not anticipating we would be lucky enough to like fill all our vacancies before the grant cycle starts, but if we could, you know, if we got the person, it'd be nice to like actually get them approved and on board before the
Sure.
decisions are being made, cause,
Makes sense.
I
You
just
know.
need a week ahead, that's all.
yeah,
Yeah,
Just
and
need
I'm
a heads
pretty
up.
much,
yeah.
after that, well, the November trip's the last one for
Yeah.
a while.
I mean, we would really only need to, you know, I can't imagine, you know, there being someone and we'd be like, no, we don't want them, but just, you know, but having a meeting where a quorum met and decided, you know,
Yeah.
cause it's funny, whenever there's like volunteer applications and, you know, the town administrator's office is like emailing Leslie, like, you okay with this person? Like, actually, we already figured that, like, we're ahead of
So
time.
that's gonna be in person, yes, the meeting in
Uh,
October?
Yeah.
If
Works for me.
everyone's good with that,
Yeah.
I think Mickey asked when we had our May meeting whether, you know, we were gonna be always in person or not, but I think that was also a concern based on particular dates versus,
Mhm.
and I can send an email out to let her know, well, let her and Sandra know what
Mhm.
they've missed and see whether that is in theory a good day, cause we can always circle back to a different date
Yeah, different date.
if
Mhm.
there is one that is better.
In that case, if we're all set with the, meeting on the 30th,
Okay.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. Whoops.
second and third. Alright, then,
Okay, meeting
all in
adjourned.
favor, yep.
Aye.
Oh. Alright, then meeting adjourned at 8:21.